Yo, Beth, that shit crazy.
To All Even Live exclusive. I am Barry Grant Jr., host of the All Even podcast. To my left is Matt Cataruzolo, and down the bottom left is Mike Guido, host of Guido's Gridiron Blitz, who we have on the show today. Super athlete, Harvard Crimson linebacker, wrestling champion, Arizona linebacker of the year, dual sport All-American. We have Brock Locnikar to the show. How you doing, man?
Pretty good. Pumped to be on here. Excited for this.
Yeah, definitely. So, we just want to get it, ask you the question in regards to how your family's doing with this pandemic. How are you doing with the pandemic? How's everything going with your family and all that stuff?
Pandemic's been tough on us. Like, it's been tough on everyone. But, I've been able to deal with just the kind of difficulties and the different situations it's been thrown at me. I didn't get to have a season this year, which was a little bit of a detriment, but I'm pumped. I switched it around. I'm planning on having some fights this year to kind of fill that void of competition that I missed and then get back to football in the fall.
Yeah, definitely. So I wanted to ask you that, that lead-off question in regards to, since there's no football and, you were a wrestling champion, you went to Harvard for football. Do you think that the fighting, like MMA, does that help you with football, or is it more a different type of training? Like, is it completely different, or is it similar? Like, what are your thoughts on like the preparation of that?
I would say the preparation for fighting is pretty much the same with the strength and conditioning. And I really think that the football training helps fighting to another level that a lot of fighters haven't really taken advantage of yet. Just like this, the power and the speed training is awesome. And training for fighting, I think, helps football and vice versa. So they go really well with each other.
Yeah, it kind of ties into the question that I was going to ask you, honestly, was growing up, and you're still a pretty, I shouldn't say pretty young guy. You're still a young guy.
He's a baby, man.
Yeah, you're a baby. You're younger than all three of us. But I was always curious, you're an All-American in two different sports, and now you're, some level of an MMA fighter. And that's, I think, incredibly impressive. And I think some of that has to be God-given ability, and some of that is you worked your ass off. That's just the way that it goes. How do you balance it? Right? Like, so you're training for football, you're going through those types of drills, you're going through the wrestling sort of regiment, you're going, you're trying to become an MMA fighter. You are an MMA fighter. How do you balance that to become the level of which you've become?
A terrible sleep schedule is the first thing. And just kind of realizing there's like a bigger picture ahead, and got to put some sacrifices forward to reach the end goal.
Yeah, it definitely takes a lot of balance, a lot of determination, and certainly a lot of focus as well. Brock, it's something I'm super curious about. Now, getting someone from such a prestigious institution like Harvard, I feel like there's this conception about Ivy League schools, whichever one it may be. All the big football programs people typically talk about, the Clemsons, the Alabamas, the Georgias, schools like that. I feel like not many people realize the athletic prowess that certain Ivy League schools have. So in your opinion, are there any like misconceptions about the athletic programs in high level Ivy League schools as compared to, like the big name schools, like the ones I just mentioned?
Yeah, most definitely. One thing I really noticed my first time going on campus and being able to practice with all my teammates is they are really high. All of them are high level athletes, and all of them had offers to different places. But I would say the difference is when you're at a school like mine, rather than just being an athlete, you truly are a student athlete, and you do have to put the books first a lot of the times. And I would say that's like the main thing that really separates a school like Harvard from big Power 5 schools. But the talent level from what I've seen is great, and I'm excited to see what my class and what the classes ahead of us can do the next 4 years.
Yeah, definitely, man. And, I read that you were late to picking up football. And, what made you decide to actually, pick it up since you were such a great wrestler? Like, was it just something that you were just like, all right, let me just try as a favor to somebody? Or did you really have a a passion to see if you had that natural ability to just be able to pick the game up?
So when I was a kid, both sides of my parents' family played football forever, and I always had kind of a feeling I was going to be playing football. But it wasn't until like the 8th grade, one of my really good friends, his dad was a football coach, and he reached out like, if I played football, he was going to wrestle with me. So we both did that, and just ever since then, I just fell in love with playing football, especially linebacker position, and I just never looked back, to be honest.
So, Brock, you were a 3-star recruit, if I'm not mistaken, right? You were a 3-star football recruit.
Yes, sir.
Getting to Harvard is not an easy thing. So, you've got, the best of the best, and as far as academics that attend that university, and you've become part of their athletic program, obviously. But, the big thing I'm really curious about is, since you picked up football late and you were such a high star recruit, how heavily recruited were you?
So at the end of my recruiting, I had a 17 D1 offers.
Wow.
It was an awesome process. Just super blessed to, never get really a bad injury that stopped me from being able to actually play. And just the whole thing was awesome. All the coaches I met, all the places I got to go was so much fun. And yeah, just really grateful for that.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked a whole lot about what the process is like. And I mean, all these accolades you've already garnered by the age of 19. I mean, you've earned 2 varsity letters from Notre Dame Prep. You've got multiple Arizona State titles in MMA and jiu-jitsu and all these things. So one question I want to really find out is, was there ever a time, like whether it was your upbringing or middle school or high school or anything like this, where you kind of realized like, wow, I actually have this potential to become this, to reach that ceiling of that the athletic ability has given to you?
So I would say, just from when I was a kid, my dad brought me to MMA gyms since I was 4 years old. He just wanted to make sure that I grew up tough. And, I would say that part of me is applicable to all the sports I do, just mental toughness. And if you have that, I feel like you can really do any sport that you want as long as you put in the work. And I just kind of dedicated myself, and just super blessed that nothing to this point has been able to really put me back far from where my goals are now.
Definitely. A two-part question for me, Brock. Who did you idolize as a kid in regards to an athlete? And, once you got to that level that you were going to pick your school, like what made you pick Harvard?
So someone that I really idolized as a kid was definitely Henry Cejudo. I grew up pretty close to him a lot of the time because he was training in a lot of the same gyms I was training at. And it was right after he won the Olympics. And then just from that, to see him win 2 UFC belts was something that really sparked a flame in me. And, seeing someone else do it that just kind of gives you the fire to be able to know that, as people, we can do anything we set our minds to. And just going to Harvard, from a young age, my dad instilled in me, and my mom instilled in me just the goal to reach a school like that. And it just kind of never left my mind, and the opportunity presented itself, and I had to take it.
Awesome.
So since now you're a Harvard man, do you have any instilled automatic hatred towards any other Ivy League school at this point?
Oh, yeah. I think I have a little hatred towards Yale now. I haven't had the Harvard-Yale game yet, but there's some hatred brewing up.
I was gonna say it's got to be close to all of them, though, right? Brown and Princeton and wherever else. I mean, it's got to be just instilled into you now.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, no, I feel like people, the commoners feel like they have kind of this conception about Harvard. It's like this mystical land where all the elites go to, get where they want to go. It's a crazy, a breeding ground almost for the CEOs and the high level business people, all the geniuses that go there. So what's one thing about Harvard that, one little industry secret that you've discovered in your short time there already?
So one thing that I really figured out is most of the guys I hang out with are just you would never know that they go to Harvard, especially the football players. They're just normal, hardworking dudes who just happen to make it, just that kind of grit that they had. And for the most part, everyone there is just came from nothing really crazy, but are really hardworking and people who are destined to be great for sure, though.
Yeah, Brock. I mean, with sports as you get, advance into your career, it's a selfish thing. And what I mean by that is that you have to pick one, right? It's not looked good upon anymore to be a two-sport athlete as a professional, right? So if you had to pick one between MMA, between football, possibly even some wrestling, what would you choose? What would be the one to be like, you know what? That's the one that's gonna propel me to where I want to go, and it's gonna give me the most happiness going forward?
So that's a really tough question. To me, honestly, the enjoyment level, MMA and football both kind of satiate that need for myself to just kind of get after it. But just looking at how my college career is going to be going, if an opportunity presents itself for football, I will take it. But if not, I'm definitely going to chase down my dream to fight in the UFC.
How often do you work out?
Around 2 to 3 times a day.
For how, put that into perspective for me. Is after a while, does your body just say, okay, stop killing me? Or are you just superhuman now?
No, definitely. So I'll tell you my schedule for today. So I woke up at 5 today. I went to my morning workout, and then after this call later, I'm going to practice some MMA stuff with and do some sparring with my coach. And just those two together. Right afterwards, I'm going and I'm laying in the hot tub for 45 minutes and just I'm out. That's done. My day's over.
Jeez.
God, I don't even remember the last time I saw what 5 a.m. looked like. Brock, we're in this whole pandemic world right now with online school and seasons being canceled and all these different ramifications falling out from the pandemic that we don't know when it's going to end. We don't know when things are going to get better. So such a high drive, high motivated guy like you, with all this training and everything you have to get ready for, how do you maintain your motor?
So actually, especially at the beginning of the pandemic, it was tough, not having a social outlet and just being, and even now just being on my computer doing classes and then going to training. It's hard to maintain it, but if you just, as long as I'm getting ahead of my competition every day and I'm focusing, that's really my drive. Just have to keep pushing forward.
Yeah, definitely. Now, in regards to MMA and, a possible UFC career, is there a weight class that you're looking to get into? What would be your weight class, and what's your natural weight class, and what would be the ideal weight class for you to fight in? Because a lot of fighters, they move up the weight classes. Is there a particular weight class that you're eyeing if you have a potential career, or is it kind of just I'm going to feel it out and as I go?
For sure. So I walk around at about 225 pounds. And if I was fighting in the UFC, now for amateur fights, I would just probably fight heavyweight just where I am. But if I was fighting in the UFC or professionally, I would definitely either cut down to light heavyweight, so 205, or possibly middleweight. Just depends on whatever I'm advised to do.
So I think it's interesting because I want to go back a little bit to just being at Harvard. Right. Because, and like Matt said before, Harvard is this mystical land that only the prestigious of the prestigious get to go to Harvard, whether it's in anything, academically, athletically, whatever. It's a place that doesn't even exist. It's anything else. Right. I don't know what kind of student you were in school or anything like that. You could be wicked smart. I have no idea. But when you walked onto campus at Harvard, I mean, are you thinking to yourself, I got to keep up with these guys? Not because you're an athlete. I get that. That might be, the first thing in your mind. But, at the same time, academically, you're probably, I'd imagine you're saying, these are the smartest kids of my age in the country. I got to keep myself up here.
Yeah, it was definitely, it was a culture shock at the beginning, but I did notice, like I said earlier, like most of them are just, there's a couple kids who come from the crazy families, like they're definitely there. But most of the kids that I have become really close with are just, they're just the normal, like hardworking kids who just, they just happen to make it there. And, it's nice to have that, because there's other people who I feel like I'm in the same boat with, who I can kind of work with,
I hear you. You.
Now, as a super athlete, as a physical freak that you are, right? What led you to love the linebacker position? Because there was any other position you could have probably picked on a football field, but why was linebacker the one that you said that's the one for me?
The one thing that I really love about linebacker is, just playing one play at a time. I feel like that's what's so nice, and just every play you can just give it all you got, and and it's seen on the field. If you're killing it and you're the man on the field, it's the one position to where it's really visible. And I was just really drawn to that, and just a whole essence of kind of leading the defense is just something that I love.
Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah,
Barry
definitely.
kind of stole your thunder on that one.
Don't worry about it. I wasn't going to say.
Skipped your turn in the rotation.
Yeah, dude, I wasn't going to say anything, but
my bad, man. My bad.
Since it's out there in the open, we're going to have a conversation later. Anyway, so Brock, using that knowledge to apply to linebacker, when you use that in your different, mixed martial arts experiences, you won Arizona State titles for mixed martial arts, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai. I guess me and pretty much anyone else that doesn't really know super enough about different types of hand-to-hand combat is what is your favorite form of mixed martial arts, and which one is the most challenging to learn?
So definitely the most challenging of all the martial arts to learn, and the hardest, I would say, is definitely wrestling. There's something about wrestling that is just it's so awesome, and it's in my opinion the hardest sport that I've ever played and I've ever seen. But and then after that, I would say my favorite part about fighting is just being able to brawl and then take someone down, and that mix between wrestling and boxing has got to be my favorite.
I can't help but notice, Brock, that you're very buttoned up. Like you're very, like, your answers are really articulate and short and concise and great. Like, and I know that you're trying to portray yourself in a professional image, right? Because that's what people like you should be doing, right? They should be trying to, fulfill their personal future aspirations. Are you nervous?
No, I mean, always a little nervous, but I feel like
I was going to say,
it helps
yeah, listen, we're just a bunch of boys talking, right? That's all it is. We're a bunch of boys talking. Let me throw this out there. You have any time to party? Like, you got this workout schedule, you got practice, you got all of this stuff, you got school up the ass. Like, you have any time to go out and have a couple of drinks or something like that? Like, any time to relax.
Yeah, no, weekends, I have a good time on the weekends. Definitely for me, it's work hard, play hard. And the weekends, me and my friends have a good time.
Good. I was going to say, you're 19 effing years old. I don't care if you go to Harvard or you go to a community college. Like, seriously, go drink a beer or something, dude. Like,
listen, man, stop trying to get the guy in trouble, man. Leave him alone.
I'm not trying to get him in trouble. I'm just saying, like, look, the guy's extremely professional. He's doing an incredible job right now.
Yes,
I want to make him loosen up a little bit. That's all.
He's putting Matt to shame right now with his professionalism. He really is.
Yeah, seriously. You look like a ragamuffin.
Let's relax here, right? Let's take it easy.
They're making fun of me. These two. So we had an interview before you, Brock, and I'm serious. We had an interview before you, and then after the interview, they started slamming me about the movies that I either haven't seen or that I think
rightfully so. Rightfully so.
And I think it's ridiculous. I think it's like everybody's got their own taste. First of all, I thought Uncut Gems was a terrible movie.
Well, you lost 3-1 already, so
I get that. I understand
the minority
that.
Here, pal.
I never saw Goodfellas. I've never like.
Whoa, his face. His reaction. Did you see his immediate reaction when you said that?
Whoa.
It's heresy.
I get it.
All right. Okay. So Brock, let's get into this then. Let's talk a little movies before we talk about sports and jocks and all that nonsense, right? Like, movie wise, what is your favorite movie of all time? If you can be able to give us that.
Braveheart for sure. Love that.
Great,
Nice.
solid choice.
Have you watched Braveheart, Mike? Oh my God!
Come on, man.
Oh, that's.
Dude, I don't know what you want me to. First of all, let me throw
Get
a
your
little bit.
life
Let me
together.
throw a little caveat in here. Okay, Barry Grant Jr. and Ragamuffin are
not a
movie
thing.
buffs. Like they sit around in a room all day and just watch these. See,
No.
I as a hardworking individual have to, contribute my fair share to society on a
Relax.
basis.
You're not a heart surgeon. Like, take it easy. Like, you don't. It's not like you're offering so much, and we're just degenerates sitting back.
Oh my God!
No.
Yeah.
And also
a nightmare.
No. And okay, so Brock, have you seen The Dark Knight?
I actually haven't seen The Dark Knight.
Oh, another one.
There we go.
Wait,
There we go.
Not what I was
Another one.
expecting.
Pulp Fiction. I do see
All
Pulp
right.
Fiction in the background though, and I like that.
Did you watch Pulp Fiction?
A man of culture.
Yes.
A
This-
man
all
of,
right, thank you.
a
This
man
man,
of culture.
Mike, still has not watched Pulp Fiction. So that's you can't do it. You can't do it. You can't do it.
Definitely, Brock. In between your super busy schedule and going to Harvard and everything, find a minute to watch The Dark Knight. Trust me.
I will.
Yeah, that's
it's worth your
okay.
time.
So wait a minute. So you're telling me that Brock gets a hey, if you find a minute in your spare time,
Brock
go
is a
watch The
dual
Dark Knight.
athlete.
I
Brock
said
is a
Dark
dual
Knight
athlete.
sucks, and I get my head cut off.
Brock's a dual athlete All-American going to Harvard. You're not. You're not. You're not
Matt,
going to the
All
gym
right,
at 5 a.m.
dash my self-esteem too.
Matt.
Why don't you?
You're not
Matt,
going to the
Absolutely
gym at 5
kill
a.m.
my self-esteem, Matt.
Matt, I'll do you one better.
Oh,
He wakes
God.
up. He wakes up at 5 a.m. for a workout. Doesn't even wake up at 5 a.m. He wakes up earlier than that for a workout. What time do you get out of bed, Mike?
I got out of bed at a very reasonable, 8 a.m.
Liar.
this morning.
Liar.
Hey.
Liar.
Hey. If this was like a week and a half ago, I would have told you 11.
No, listen.
This is today.
Yes, Mike. Brock
Oh
absolutely gets a pass.
He gets a pass. He's a Harvard athlete. He gets a pass. Now, Brock, let's talk a little sports here in regards to the NFL. Super Bowls, the outcome of the Super Bowl was shocking to a lot of people. Now, what were your thoughts on the Super Bowl? Did you actually think that it would go that way? Did you think that Tom Brady would dominate the game the way he did, or even the Bucs defense would dominate the game that way? What are your thoughts on the actual Super Bowl?
So I'm definitely was rooting for the Bucs. I was pumped for that game. And it was also really cool to see. If you guys know Cameron Brate, he was a Harvard guy.
Yeah.
So seeing him play out there, that really amped me up. But that was an awesome game to watch. And it's just crazy seeing someone that old and consistently still killing it out there. That was definitely something to watch.
I think you're the only person in the world that could say that was an awesome game to watch. That was a terrible football game. And you know it. That was a terrible football game.
He liked the game, man. Leave him alone.
Because he was rooting for the Bucs.
Well, he's a Bucs fan, probably. Who knows?
What are you? What are you a fan of? Brock, what team are you rooting for?
All right, my favorite team. That's tough.
I imagine you're a Cardinal fan, but
I'm actually going to go with the Browns. I'm going to go
really?
Browns.
Respect.
Wow. Yeah.
Respect.
Okay.
Yo, kudos to you.
Yeah,
Being a
man.
Browns fan.
So he's a glutton for punishment. Jeez. You like Baker?
I do like Baker Mayfield.
I was going to say, he's,
Yeah.
there was only a year ago, there were only 3 quarterbacks in the NFL that threw more than 20 interceptions. You know who they were? I'm not trying to stop you. I'm just actually throwing it out.
No.
Okay. This is the year prior to this past year. Okay. The three quarterbacks in the NFL that threw more than 20 interceptions were Baker Mayfield, Phillip Rivers, and Jameis Winston. Phillip Rivers and Jameis Winston ended up on different teams the next year. Baker Mayfield's the only one that stuck with the Browns. So I just figured I'd throw that out there.
Don't do that to him. Don't do that to him.
Stop it. You know, you're breeding.
I'm not trying to.
You're
Look,
planting
yes, you
thoughts.
are.
You're
Yes, you
planting
are, man.
thoughts. That's
Yes,
what you're
you are.
doing. Don't do that.
You're trying to make him change teams, man.
if you don't mind, and I don't know how serious this is in your life, but I noticed that in your Instagram profile, you also say that you're a Christian.
Yes.
Right. Okay. I am too. Just throwing that out there as well. For people that exclaim that and publish that, publicly, I think it's important, and I think you understand why, as a person who's a Christian also, I feel like it's our duty to kind of spread the word as much as we can. So, let me ask you this: how, you don't have to get too deep, but how has the Lord inspired you in your life to get you to the point where you are today?
I'm born and raised Catholic. I've gone through everything through the church, and just one thing that's really kind of resonated with me is like losing, not fulfilling your potential, like your God-given potential. That's something that has really echoed with me, and just being able to try to stick to and finding out what is my potential is something that I feel very deeply religiously, and just want to find where that takes me.
Yeah, I respect that. I respect that a lot, actually. I really do.
That's cool.
This is just kind of like a super simple question, but I mean, I feel like it's kind of remiss if we didn't ask you about it. I mean, again, a dual athlete All-American, attending Harvard at 19 years old, going to be trained to become a fighter. I mean, how proud are your parents of you?
They're my parents, they're proud, but they love getting on me too, but they're
gotta keep you humble.
Awesome.
Gotta keep you humble,
exactly.
Man. Yeah,
exactly.
You don't
It's
want to
important.
be an airhead.
It's very important.
Now, here's an interesting question from a weird guy like me. The fact that you are, an aspiring MMA fighter, you're a physical guy, you play football. A lot of MMA fighters, a lot of UFC guys, even MMA, you don't even have to like kind of zero in on the UFC. They end up pursuing like a WWE career. Has this ever been something that has even entered your mind? Because, guys like Kurt Angle, who's an Olympic wrestler, went ahead and had a successful career, making a ton of money in the WWE. Like, is that something that you've ever even thought about?
I mean, getting paid to not really get punched in the face, that sounds like a good deal.
Right.
All right, so then let me counter that by saying this. Do you think that not wrestling, WWE, is that a sport?
I think it is a sport, but like gymnastics,
Entertainment.
Sports entertainment, man.
How so?
Yeah.
How so? I mean,
just like the like acrobatics and just how they can like it. Yeah, I feel like it's hard to say it's a sport, but it's like a mix between a sport. Yeah, it's sports entertainment.
Yeah, it's
sports
more,
entertainment.
exactly.
It's theatrical, right?
Yeah,
that's fine with me. If you start putting WWE on the same platform as football, I think that's a little.
Nobody would ever say that, Mike. Come on.
I don't think anyone would ever say that.
Hey, well, I'm serious. I've heard people say that. I'm not kidding you.
Who?
It's not like you would know them. I'm just saying I've heard people say that.
The one guy that said it to you, that was a lot of people. I've heard people say it.
Kind of sounds like you're
I've had plenty of people in my life try to convince me that WWE is just like the NBA.
Okay, no,
like,
that's
it's ridiculous.
It's a little bit of a stretch.
Ridiculous.
That's a stretch.
A little bit of a stretch.
Of course, it's a stretch.
A tad bit of a stretch, right?
I don't know.
Of course, it's a stretch. Jeez.
Anyway,
what's your
Brock,
favorite food, Brock? What's your favorite food, Brock?
favorite food. I'm a big chicken wings guy. If I can get some buffalo wings,
okay,
it's a good night.
Are you a mild or spicy guy?
You know what? I'm a golden medium. I love golden sauce and not too spicy. I'm a little bit of a wimp, but golden medium is where it's at.
Fine, man. There's nothing wrong with not liking spicy food. If you don't, some people just don't like their food fighting back. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Okay, a little heat, a little kick, some buffalo chicken. That's totally fine. Now, Brock, is that So have you with all your training and everything, do you have to stick to kind of like a strict diet regimen? Do you monitor calories and things like that?
Honestly, I just eat as much as I can, to be honest. Whatever I can as much as I can.
It's a dangerous game. Dangerous game, man.
What it was to be 19, I'm telling you, boy. Jesus.
Yeah,
Crazy.
wait till you start getting digestive problems.
Don't put that on him, man. Don't do that.
I'm scared now.
So, Brock, how do you have? This might be a silly question, but do you have aspirations of getting drafted? You are a 3-star recruit. Do you have aspirations of getting drafted and playing the NFL one day?
Most definitely, and would just like to see if my college career can take me there.
Who in your mind do you think is the best linebacker in the NFL right now?
Luke Kuechly.
Oh,
well, yeah, he's out though. Oh, that's tough.
Retired too soon. I remember, Mike. We were on a show. On a show when Luke Kuechly retired.
Yeah, that was shocking.
That was a damn shame. It was a damn shame.
He would have been a Hall of Famer. It's such a shame.
Dude, so
yeah. Well, I need to ask you this question in regards to, I guess is the cliche question, the GOAT question. Do you consider Tom Brady the GOAT in football, or is there somebody else that you are thinking about? Because on this panel here, we always have this discussion, right? And we are all in the minority category, because the GOAT conversation to us means something a little different. Like, Peyton Manning revolutionized the quarterback position. Tom Brady has been the most successful winner in all of football history. Does that mean that he's the GOAT in your opinion, or do you have a different, outlook at this?
I mean, being born after 2000, Tom Brady has just been around my entire life, basically.
Right.
So just having that constant Tom Brady winning would definitely put him in the GOAT category for me.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
All right, it's a safe answer.
Yeah,
you're can't really get mad at that,
No, you can't. You can't. So, how are your playing aspiration? I shouldn't say aspiration, but your prospects, right? Like, you're a true freshman, right? I'm not wrong in saying that, right? You're a true freshman.
Yes.
Okay. So, not very often do you see true freshmen play that much, right? Where are you on the depth chart right now? How do you, what are your prospects of playing next season?
So first semester was a little weird because it was just freshmen on campus. So it was
right.
So yeah, so that was it was great for me to get a good relationship with the coaches, but I can't tell you how the older players are looking because I didn't get to see it. But the one thing that's nice is I do have 4 years left of eligibility from this point. So this is actually something that's pretty cool. I'm either going to plan on staying 4 years at Harvard and taking a semester off, or I can grad transfer somewhere, which would be a pretty fun opportunity.
Yeah, it's neat. That's neat.
Go ahead, Matt.
Imagine having the next 4 years of your life just planned out right in front of you. Must be nice. Anyway, Rock, this was kind of a follow-up to Barry's question. Now, we're talking about GOATs and everything and greatness and everything, aspirations and all that. So I want to know, in your mind, someone who has such a high ceiling, it's unlimited potential in so many different areas, academically, athletically, whatever it is.
He's a freak.
The nice way of saying that, sure. So I just simply put, what in your mind defines greatness?
Grit for sure. Just keep pushing forward.
It almost sounds like great. Great. Almost sounds like it.
All right. Whatever, Mike. Yeah, definitely. All right.
Sorry to insult you.
That's fine. Just don't do it again.
Now, Brock, have you ever heard, or has anybody ever said to you that your career path is very similar to another guy that has a name Brock? The last name is Lesnar. Have you ever heard that comparison? Like, because that guy's a freak athlete, and whatever he touched just turned to gold. It may seem like you have that certain touch as well. As you get older, as you get more, as you get stronger, as you get more knowledgeable in the sporting world, you may have a chance to kind of do what he did. He blazed the trail for just attempting certain things. without really having an extensive background. Like, Brock Lesnar played football in high school, but he wasn't a huge football player. But he ended up making the training camp team with the Vikings at one point. So, he went to UFC. He was the heavyweight champion. He was a wrestling champion. All of these things. So it's like, do you ever look at him and say, I'd like to mirror that type of career arc?
I mean, as a kid growing up, I still remember watching his fight against Frank Mir. Like,
yeah.
To be on that level of athlete, of just athleticism, that's definitely my goal. I can't say that's me yet because I haven't accomplished nearly the amount of crazy things he has, but that's definitely someone I look up to.
Yeah.
What's your passion, Brock? Because I'm trying to I'm not trying to psychoanalyze you or anything like that. I'm trying to seem that way, but I just find it interesting the way that you answer these questions, because it feels like you're more and I could be wrong, but it feels like you're more passionate about MMA and fighting than you are about football. Am I wrong in saying that?
So that's tough, because playing linebacker to me is almost no different than fighting. It honestly feels relatively the same to me. So both of those two, like they're both just like, there's nothing feels better than being on the field on a Friday night. The one thing I can say right now though is I've been able to do more fighting this year because we weren't allowed to play football.
Yeah.
So that may kind of be influencing me a little bit right now, but once it's football season, I'm locked in.
Let me ask you this, Brock. If you weren't pursuing athletics in anything, in football, in fighting, nothing like that, if you weren't pursuing any sort of athletics, what would you be doing? Or what would your ideal dream scenario be for a career path? What in your mind would be a good, alternative if you weren't pursuing athletics?
So I've always really loved just kind of learning about businesses and like learning about how just history. So anything in like the I'm currently majoring in a government and econ. So just anything along those routes, I would be super happy to be involved in it.
So would you consider running for office if that was available?
Oh my God.
No, I don't know if that's me. That's a tough gig to fill.
Yeah.
Who the hell would want that?
I'm just asking a question, man. It's a question.
I'm not taking a shot at you, Barry. I'm honestly throwing this out as a discussion. Like, I never understood the career politician. Like, everybody craps on you, regardless of what side you're on. You can be a Democrat, Republican, it doesn't matter. Everybody craps on you, and you don't make that much money.
You got to have thick skin, man, honestly.
And you're splitting time between the congressional district that you got elected in and Washington. Yeah. So who the hell would want that?
It's tough.
I'm serious, man. Like, it's just crazy. But it looks like
Mike,
you got a good head.
Mike, I might run for office. Would you vote for me?
No.
What?
You and I are on opposite sides of the aisle. It's nothing personal.
Maybe I'll go to that side just to get your vote. Why not?
I don't know, man. No. Politicians say a bunch of stupid stuff, and so far,
let's not get into the who did you vote for question.
So far, Brock has said all the right things.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that here. That's not that type of show. No. We're not that type of show. No way.
Okay. So I think it's interesting. So did we ever really get an answer from you on that linebacker question? Who's the best linebacker in the NFL? It's obviously not Luke Kuechly anymore.
It's not Luke Kuechly. Yeah.
Who's the best linebacker in the NFL right now?
Or even just your favorite?
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough. I actually can't give an answer to that. I don't really know.
There's a ton. There's a good amount. Yeah. I don't know. I think I'd probably have to, I would probably say Fred Warner. Fred Warner might be.
He's better than Bobby Wagner.
Bobby Wagner's old. He's good.
What does that mean?
Levante David or Devin White?
I don't know. I'd say it's a personal preference. I like Fred Warner. You have a problem with it?
I feel like this is really hostile.
I don't know, man. You're being pretty confrontational.
I need a safe space.
You're
Does Harvard have any safe spaces, Brock?
I'm not a big safe space guy myself, so I haven't looked for any, but I guarantee there's some on campus.
Gotta be.
Yeah, most definitely.
What's your hardest class right now?
Hardest right now. I'm taking a government survey class, so I'm like making surveys for this research project I'm doing, and I'm like everyone in there is like 22 and like a grad student, so that's definitely my hardest one.
Gee.
Let's see.
What's been the most intimidating thing about Harvard so far?
The most intimidating thing is when I first got there was math, because online it was really hard to learn math, but I kind of switched my method a little bit this semester, and it's made it a lot easier.
Got to make adjustments,
Exactly.
What was your life like in high school, Brock? Popular guy? I mean, again, another silly question, right? We're from New York. Football is not outrageously large here. Okay. So I'd imagine for somebody that has 244 solo tackles, for a guy who is an All-American in wrestling and in football, you're obviously you're not an ugly dude. So I'd imagine your popularity in high school, your life in high school couldn't have sucked that bad.
The main thing for me in high school is I had some of the best friends that I could have ever made. And what was really cool is like 7 of my buddies from my team went to go play a D1 football. So,
wow.
Yeah. And we, every one of us like still call each other every week and just stay in touch. And that's something I've been super proud of.
Good answer.
Nice.
That
was a great answer. That was a great answer.
I felt very warm inside. It was a nice, comforting, good answer. It makes me feel good.
All right, Brock. Biggest pet peeve that you have?
Biggest pet peeve. Ooh, that's tough. You know what? I'm not like a real like picky guy. So I guess like my biggest pet peeve is like I don't really have one, to be honest. I guess it's all circumstance.
Wow. Oh my God.
Stopping short on the highway doesn't bother you?
People that don't use their blinkers.
He does.
I have way too many.
He's a nice guy. My biggest pet peeve is pressing the up button on the elevator, and then somebody comes right behind me, presses the same button, and it's already lit up. You can't press it anymore. The elevator's coming.
I actually have one. I'm probably the worst parker in the lake. I cannot park my car for anything. And everyone gives me crap about it. That's my biggest pet peeve. It's like, all right, I get it.
All right, yeah, right. I can't park. Like, leave me alone.
Just be self-aware. It's all right. It helps.
This interview isn't even about sports anymore. It's just not. But see, like that's what I'm talking about, dude. Like, there's nothing to be nervous about. We're just kind of, a bunch of shitheads talking.
We're just regular dudes, man.
Yeah, that's what so what kind of car I just got a new car. So what kind of car do you drive? And dual part, what's your dream car?
Okay. All right. So I got I have a Ford truck, an F-150 right now. I love it. Yeah. It's
old or new?
2012. So
okay.
Oh, solid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So and it's red too. So it fits in perfect with the Harvard sticker on it as well.
With the crimson, yeah.
Nice. Yeah. But my dream car, definitely an H1. Those things are badass.
That new one?
Yeah, dude.
Clean.
So sick.
Oh my God.
Have you seen the new Hummer?
No.
Dude, Google it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will. The 2022 new Hummer is maybe the sexiest thing on the internet.
That's the hybrid one, right? Right, Mike?
I've seen those.
Is it a hybrid?
Yeah.
It just, oh my God, dude.
Better than the Bronco, because I saw that. Ooh.
The Bronco.
Yes. I was thinking about getting a Bronco.
Nice looking.
One of the cars that I was looking at was a Bronco Sport, and I will tell you this: I was really looking forward to it. I thought that was the thing that I was going to get. It was the least favorite of all the cars that I drove.
Wow.
My least favorite. It's not, I got to be honest with you. I wasn't impressed. The interior is very meh. You know, it kind of drives a little wobbly. It really isn't that nice.
Well, Mike, I mean, you know, you're bougie, so I would understand why you didn't like it.
I am not bougie.
You are pretty
I live in a basement.
You're an expensive broad.
Definitely expensive. Jeez.
You don't come cheap, okay? You don't come cheap.
I am absolutely a cheap date. Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
All right. This is for everybody, but Brock starts. One superpower. Go. Don't make it generic like fly, super strength. You get one superpower. Not even a superpower. Just give yourself one superhuman ability. Because mine's not really a superpower. It's just a superhuman ability.
Read minds. Definitely.
That's a good one.
That's
See,
good.
that's a good one.
Are you insecure?
I definitely wouldn't want to know what people are thinking about me all the time.
You know,
That's not a dig. I'm actually asking.
I mean, as you know, I guess like moderately, you know.
Everyone's got their own, you know.
Yeah,
come on.
because that's what I mean. Is the reason I'm saying that is because a lot of people that say that they wish that they could read minds is because they're concerned about what other people are thinking, right? They're concerned about what other people are thinking. So I'm thinking,
stop putting him on the couch.
I
Mike.
am not trying to do that. I'm having a conversation.
Sigmund Freud over here.
All right.
My thought was like, if I was doing business stuff, you could just like read into someone's mind and then just like hop it around.
Yeah, see, that's the smarter way to do it.
Brock's playing chess.
That's better.
Brock's playing chess. We're all playing checkers.
Barry, what's your superpower, buddy?
Time travel.
Or superhuman ability. Ooh. Would you go forward or would you go back?
I'd go back because I can be able to make a lot of bets and make a lot of money.
It's
a very immoral, unethical
answer.
It's a very unethical thing to do, man.
That's crypto. Yeah,
but that's chess.
Put it all in crypto. Exactly. Just play the market.
I go back in 1985. Have you heard about something called crypto? You need to. Yeah.
That'd be
Mike,
fun.
what about you? You're the last one.
What was yours again, Matt? Did you even say yours?
No,
he's waiting.
Oh, you're waiting for me.
Yeah. I wasn't waiting. Oh, okay. yeah, I didn't go. Shape-shifting. I could become anything or anybody, anywhere at any time.
So you want to be Morph?
Yeah, I could do that. I could just shapeshift.
Okay.
Cool. I could be a fly on the wall anywhere.
That's interesting.
I could just be, anything.
Superhuman ability.
Anything.
Look, I know that it's generic, but I'd probably say I'd want to fly.
Oh, God.
What did I say? What did I say? What was the ground rule? What were the ground rules? Don't make it generic like you
So I'm not allowed to be able to fly. Is that what I'm literally not allowed to fly.
Mike ruined the game. Let's just move on.
I'll pick another one. All right, it's not that big a deal. I'll pick another one. Let's see. All right. So what were the ones I'm not allowed to pick? I'm not allowed to pick flying. I'm not allowed to pick like invisibility or some shit.
You can't fly and you can't be super strong.
I can't fly and I can't be strong. Well, that kind of sucks.
You can be invisible. That's fine.
I'd like to be the most good-looking man in America. How's that?
That's fine.
Is that superhuman?
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever, man.
Yeah.
Everything's an ordeal with you. You diva.
Why am I a diva? I said that I'd want to fly, and you got mad. That's not on me. That's on you, pal.
Whatever, man.
Whatever.
That was good. Good choices, though. Good choices all around.
I
think Brock had the best reasoning, though. Brock had a pretty sound logic.
A good answer.
Pretty sound logic behind that.
So how often? I don't know if this can get you in trouble or not. I'm just kind of throwing it out there anyway. How much do you dabble in the sports gambling arena?
You know, I'm actually not a sports gambler. I'm a crypto guy. I love screwing around with like when Dogecoin was coming out. Like that was my like
the moon.
So you're
to the moon.
You're a stock guy. That's good.
Love it.
It's good.
So you must have been really pissed about the whole Robinhood thing.
Oh yeah, I was freaking out because I was trying to sell that whole day and they screwed me out of like it was terrible.
That was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's terrible. That really was. Those Robin Hood people, I think, are going to jail.
I don't know if they're going to jail yet.
Something's got it. Some disciplinary.
There's going to be something.
happen.
There's going to be something that goes on. Do you think it was what they did, Brock? Do you think that it was criminal what they did?
Most definitely. I think the whole kind of concept of Robin Hood is like quasi-criminal a little bit.
It's kind of sketchy. It's kind of sketchy.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I have always had this thing where I am really skeptical about putting all of your assets into something that somebody could just push a button and you don't have access to it or it's gone.
Yeah, that's scary.
Like it's just sketchy to me.
Yeah.
It just is. So I'm with you on that one. I am. Go ahead, Barry. Tell me I'm wrong. Yeah, I know that look on your face. You're telling me, see, you don't have trust issues. I do.
Okay, so that's a you issue. That's not a me issue. That's a you issue.
You don't think that I should be worried about something like that?
No, because you gotta just
let's not get deep here.
You gotta do your research, man. You gotta make sure you do your research and not take crazy risks if you don't want to. The thing is, if you're young, you can take a little bit more risks. When you get a little older, people get a little bit more conservative. So that that's the way it goes. But people don't want to invest. Like I don't. It's one thing about like stocks and investing is that I don't never criticize people that don't want to do it. If you're not comfortable doing it, then don't do it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's like if you're gonna jump in, make sure you understand exactly what you're doing and not have somebody force you to jump into something, because that's what happened with a lot of that GameStop is that people jumped into it because people were telling them to do it and they didn't understand how things work. So when it ballooned and they couldn't get their money back, a lot of people lost. A lot of people won some money, got some money, but a lot of people lost because they did not understand what they were getting into. So if you're gonna jump into it, make sure you do your research. That's it. That's my PSA.
Be careful.
True.
PSA. Now,
all right. Is it time for the question, Barry, or no?
Yeah. How much time you got? We don't want to take up too much of your time. We know that you're a busy man.
I probably have until about like 10 more minutes, I would say.
It's time for the question.
It's time for the question.
It's time for the question.
Let's ask him the question.
All right. We ask this to everybody that we interview. We've gotten a bunch of different answers.
I'm very interested to hear Brock's answer.
I am very interested in hearing this too. Who is the greatest athlete of all time in any sport?
In your opinion.
Who is the GOAT of GOATs?
Ooh, that's really tough.
Oh, yeah. Get the list out, Mike. Get the list out.
So here's what we've got so far. Okay. So just so you have frame of reference, Martin Gramatica said Diego Maradona, the Argentinian soccer player. We had Joe Spano, who said Muhammad Ali. Josh Powell, the two-time Laker champion, had Randy Moss. Rachel Berry had Peyton Manning. Russell Baxter had Edwin Moses. And Karita Parks had Michael Jordan, our only Michael Jordan.
A bevy of different answers.
Yes. So you are not going to be, don't feel like you're going to be embarrassed by whoever you say, because you can see it. We haven't gotten two in a row at all.
Just growing up with him, I'm going to say Floyd Mayweather.
Okay.
Great answer.
Okay.
Great answer.
And listen, and could you give us a little context to why do you think Floyd Mayweather is the GOAT?
He was untouchable my whole life. And I love watching boxing too. So, just watching with like my parents and stuff like that ever since I was a kid, like seeing him just never get beat or anything. And I just love his swagger too. Like something about Floyd, like he's just the GOAT.
Yeah, that's fair, man. I like that answer. We've gotten we have 7 different answers. Like we have not had a repeat answer.
We have not had a single repeat answer this whole time.
Wow.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing.
Single repeat answer. We haven't gotten one.
Got to keep it that way. I would try to keep it that way.
I think people are just trying to be different. I swear. I think that's
good.
Part of
There's nothing wrong with that.
We've gotten one Muhammad Ali, which I've heard. I think that's somewhat of a conventional answer.
One Michael Jordan.
One Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's impressive. That's impressive.
Wow. Really, really interesting.
Well,
That's
Brock,
a good answer. I like Floyd.
Brock, it's been a pleasure. Like, this was like really, really fun. This is not your conventional interview. So, but you handle yourself professionally. You are you're a really good kid. Really good kid. You have a great head on your shoulders. I believe that you're going to do great things. Just keep doing what you're doing. And, just let everybody know, where they can find you and what you have going on in the future.
Hey, thank you guys so much. And I have a fight coming up in April. So
awesome.
So I'll send you guys a video on Instagram, sir, when I get it. So please, that would be awesome. Thank you guys so much for having me too. This was so much fun.
Yeah, man.
It's a blast.
Got it, man.
Definitely. All right. So this is Barry Grant Jr., host of the All Even podcast. We have Big Matt Cataruzolo in the top left. We have Mike Guido, host of the Guido's Gridiron Blitz. And, we'll see you guys next week.